if you predict something, especially to a specific person in front of them out loud,
She dropped divination so that she could take a class where she could use numbers to divine the future.
welcome back, witches, wizards, and muggles to Squib's Corner. It feels like it's been forever, but I am still Jeremiah.
And I'm Andrew, and tonight we're coming at you with Chapter 13, Mad-Eye Moody, of Book 4, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Before we go forward, let's go back. We just did Chapter 12, the Tri-Wizard Tournament, which isn't about the tournament at all. It's just an introduction of the tournament that we're going to see and experience later in the books. One thing that we did learn is that there is no Quidditch this year.
Rubbish! Wait. You're joking!
Yeah, I am not joking, Mr. Weasley. So there's going to be no Quidditch at Hogwarts this year. Instead, there's this ancient, just about tournament that was set up many years ago so that inter-Europe schools, mainly Beauxbaton and Durmstrang, could get together to celebrate wizarding unity and camaraderie. So that's going to be happening at Hogwarts this year. There's going to be 3 house champions chosen, one from each school, and you have to be at least 17 years old to enter. And Harry's sitting back like, I could use a year off.
Right.
I'm upset there's no Quidditch, but I can use a year off. Let somebody take this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So then that brings us to, so at the, kind of in the midst of all this, there was an opening at the staff table. And it's really dark and thundering, lightning, all this stuff. Then all of a sudden we get this incredibly grizzled, injured, peg leg teacher that walks in, and it's Mad-Eye Moody. We finally get to meet almost Mad-Eye Moody. We see him. We see what he looks like. We haven't met him yet. So
Great
we see
description of him, too.
Great description of him. So we see Mad-Eye Moody, and now this was the first day back, right? September 1st. Okay. So
Best
here we are.
ever.
Yeah. So they have the feast. Hermione finds out, about house elves working
This
in
Hogwarts. This is the
Hogwarts.
beginning of Hermione's fight for house elves.
A fun little, subplot of book 4, and that takes us to the beginning of Chapter 13, Mad-Eye Moody. Did I miss anything there, Jeremiah? I feel like
Well, don't forget to stick
of the high
around
points.
till the end because we are going to put the owl post at the end today. I kind of felt like the intro already had enough to begin with, so stick around to the end. We do have some good owl posts. But that being said, let's jump right into the 7-word summary. What do you think?
Let's do it. Let's get into it.
Yeah,
Let's
get
do it.
into it. Andrew, what do you got for the 7-word summary? I had a hard time with this one.
I had a very easy time with this one. My 7-word summary. A chapter about Mad-Eye Moody? Barely.
Yeah. I was going to go that direction.
Yeah.
I said, no, that's too easy.
It was. I was like, there's no, because I'm doing the script, right?
Yeah,
this is an odd chapter. I get to prepare the script. And you're like, man, I'm almost done with this chapter. And we've gone through 3 classes, 2 Malfoy altercations, right? Like, we're going through everything. And then finally you're like, oh, there's Mad-Eye Moody.
Guess what chapter 14 starts out with? Mad-Eye Moody.
That's the thing. We get a lot of Mad-Eye Moody in the next chapter. It's all good. But it's I enjoy it. So what's your 7-word summary?
I kept mine Mad-Eye Moody-esque. I now introduce you to Ferret Malfoy.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Had to go that way. Had to do it.
So the 7 chapter notables. So I will say kind of overall this chapter...
It's kind of all over the place.
It's all over the place. I wouldn't say that it's a filler chapter because it's laying foundation for different things. But overall, it's not really a chapter that you're like, we couldn't have done the book without it.
Yeah, I thought that too. And then I opened up your script and went, oh, this is kind of a long script for this chapter.
Yeah, because like you said, it's all over the place. So you've got this little story, you've got the herbology story. Then you've got Care of Magical Creatures story. Then you've got Divination story. Then you've got Draco with the newspaper story. Like so it's enough to like you can't just skip through a bunch of it without really reviewing the chapter, which is what we're all about, right? So the 7 chapter notables are 1, Hedwig missing in action, 2, Bubotubers, 3, blast-ended Skrewts, 4, Trelawney Missfire, 5, who's worse, Malfoy or Skeeta, 6, can dish it out but can't take it, and 7, finally, Mad-Eye Moody.
A chapter called Mad-Eye Moody. That should be chapter notable number 1.
You'd be like, here he is. Because remember, we still have not met Mad-Eye Moody. We've seen him.
Yeah, we've seen him.
We've seen him, but we've not met him. So we finally get to meet him. So first paragraph of chapter 13, Mad-Eye Moody. This is the next day, right? The storm had blown itself out by the following morning, though the ceiling in the great hall was still gloomy. Heavy clouds of pewter gray swirled overhead as Harry, Ron, and Hermione examined their new course schedules at breakfast. A few seats along, Fred, George, and Lee Jordan were discussing magical methods of aging themselves and bluffing their way into the Triwizard Tournament. Remember, you have to be 17 to get into the tournament. Fred and George, and presumably Lee Jordan, are not 17 and won't be 17 at the time of the tournament.
Yeah, and I think Dumbledore's pretty keen to Fred and George's personalities, right? He's kind of already knowing what they're going to do. He's got his eye on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not too quiet, but they can be quiet. So
yeah. Well, and I think it's important to note. Sure, we can bring it up. Molly Weasley brought it up. They're changing the rules this time. Yeah. And then Dumbledore in his speech. It was stopped. The Triwizard Tournament was stopped because there were so many fatalities.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be that way this year. We know. So, like, while Dumbledore's like, we urge people not to try, I think they've changed it so that if they do try, there's not really going to be anything more.
Well, it's just kind of funny things that happen if you do try. So it's
yeah.
It's not like you're getting electrocuted or something like that. So.
Yeah.
So we're finally back to Hogwarts, and now we're on the morning after the back-to-school feast. And we've already got a pop quiz, I guess.
I have a handful of pop quizzes in there because I love pop quizzes. And this one's a 2-parter. One, I'm not saying you're going to get both parts wrong, but I'm almost guaranteeing you're not going to get the second part wrong. Or get the second part right. Because I looked it up.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we're in book 4. What is the date that this chapter takes place on?
Is this still September 1st? Or is this the 2nd now? Because you go back to Hogwarts September 1st, so... Morning after back-to-school feast, September 2nd.
Okay, we're locking in our guess. Or we're locking in our answer, September 2nd. This is September 2nd. What year is this?
1996.
That was a great guess, but it was an incorrect guess. 1994.
Ooh.
Right, 1994. 1994, right? You know this.
That was close.
So here is, I guess it's the third parter. Because you got September 2nd right. You got 1994 wrong. What day of the week was September 2nd, 1994?
Oh, wow. See, chronologically, I would think Tuesday, but I'm going to say that's wrong. I'll say Wednesday.
Because it's wild, because every year it's on September 1st.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool, right?
Yeah.
Every year we're always checking, okay, what's the first day of school? Because it changes. They want to start on a Monday. Sometimes they start on a Wednesday. Like, it's crazy.
It's like my kids' school. They do the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, what happened to just starting on a Monday?
Yeah, just start on a Monday. What are we doing
that?
here? September 2nd, 1994 was a Friday.
Oh, wow.
It was a Friday.
Welcome back to school. All right, see you Monday.
Yeah, enjoy the weekend.
That's crazy. Well, September 2nd was Friday, right?
Correct, yes,
So
correct.
At least they had... I mean, you go back to school, maybe have a relaxing 2 days? I don't know. Well, it doesn't sound like it's a relaxing 2 days, actually.
No, not for Ron and Harry.
So people are chatting about last night's events, and Fred and George and Lee Jordan are already trying to come up with ways that they can trick the impartial judge and age themselves so that they can enter into the Triwizard Tournament. This is the morning where the students receive their class schedules, and Ron announces they'll be outside all morning. September. It's still a little hot around September, huh?
Yeah, I've never been to Scotland, but I assume September 2nd you're starting to get into sweater weather, but maybe not necessarily.
Last year, come October, it was still pretty hot, and I was like, what is going on here? So, yeah, this sounds terrible to me. This sounds like really bad news.
I don't think Scotland and New Mexico have the same.
If it's cool, cold, and overcast or something like that, I'm all for it. But if that sun's out beaming on me, no thanks. As you can, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see what being outside in the sun does to your face.
I was outside in the sun today.
That's probably what I look like most of the time anyway. So this morning, Herbology with the Hufflepuffs and Care of Magical Creatures with the Slytherins. Oh, the Slytherins. Harry and Ron would have double divinations that afternoon, which Harry dreaded. He was getting pretty tired of Professor Trelawney. Hermione dropped divination last year, so she would have arithmancy in the afternoon. And what did she say? Like, you should have just dropped the class like I did.
Here's what she said, because I love this.
Yeah.
I love this a lot. So here's what Hermione says. You should have given it up like me, shouldn't you? Then you'd be something sensible, like arithmancy. That's what she said. That's what she said. Jeremiah, what is arithmancy? Have you ever wondered what arithmancy is?
I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't. Maybe I shouldn't say what I think it is.
Say what you think it is. I mean, this is not pop quiz. This is.
I might sound stupid though. Like, it's either like some sort of math or
spot on.
Okay.
Right. It's dealing with numbers. Right. It's not necessarily math, but it is dealing with numbers.
Yeah,
so here's the thing. And I went back to Google today to make sure.
How did you find the time?
Oh my gosh, bro. So here it is. This is what Google says, right? It's bringing it from Harry Potter Wiki. But she says drop divination. I dropped divination so that I could do something. What did she say?
More practical.
More practical.
Yeah.
Arithmancy. And we're not even going to do the Harry Potter. Arithmancy. Arithmancy is from the Greek, meaning arithmos is number and mantia is divination. So it's practiced by the Greeks, Chaldeans, and Hebrews using numbers to divine the future. So she told them to drop divination. She dropped divination so that she could take a class where she could use numbers to divine the future. It's so good. And I don't know if JK did that on purpose. If she did that on purpose, like, she's even more of a genius.
Yeah.
If she did that on purpose. So Hermione dropped divination so that she could take divination.
Reminds me of this math class I had when I went to college. I placed in like the lowest math that they had, and it was math dealing with a lot of imaginary numbers.
Bro, once you get into calculus and the imaginary stuff, it's so upsetting.
This is the only guy in my life that I've ever heard talk about this. Other than that, I've never heard of it. I don't remember any of it either.
Yeah.
Did it help with any of the other math I ever took? It sure did not.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was weird.
It was not fun math. Not fun math. So, I'm off my tangent about Hermione.
Dropping divination.
Thinking that her class on divination is better than Harry and Ron's class on divination. I get it, though. Numerology, you can write it down. There's a system. And obviously, Professor Trelawney doesn't sell divination very well. So we're back at breakfast, right? She's eating again, which she went on a hunger strike last night. She decided
That's almost what it's like being in a calorie deficit. We're on a hunger strike.
Yeah, we're on a hunger strike, yes. So she's decided that there were other ways of showing her dismay about how house elves are treated. And then the morning mail comes in, and owls, come to Neville. He forgets things. It goes to Draco because he gets his, sweets and stuff from his parents. And chapter notable number 1, there's still no Hedwig. So it's been over 2 weeks that Harry wrote a letter to Sirius, sent Hedwig, and has not heard back from Sirius in any way and hasn't seen Hedwig. So obviously he's a little nervous. And I think us as the readers, we've not been without Hedwig this long.
Yeah.
At all since we've got her. So it's like, okay, that is a little concerning. So the only thing that can kind of shake Harry off of thinking about is Sirius okay, is Hedwig okay. They make their way down to herbology in Greenhouse 3, and Professor Sprout introduces them to chapter notable number 2, Bubotubers. To Harry, this is what the book says, they looked less like plants than thick black giant slugs protruding vertically out of the soil. Each was squirming slightly and had a number of large shiny swellings on it, which appeared to be full of liquids. Professor Sprout tells them that, okay, this is what we're going to do. We are going to squeeze, right? It says these, the swellings, the shiny swellings that appeared to be full of liquid. We're going to squeeze these.
No thanks.
And we're going to be collecting not the fluid, not the gel, not the pus.
Double no thanks.
We're going to be collecting pus from plants that look like black wiggling slugs.
Back in the day, I didn't have a texture thing, so I might have been okay with this, but now I'm like, no.
No, thank you.
Yeah, every once in a while I grab a jar out of the fridge. I'm like, oh, this is sticky. Can you open this and do something? I don't want to touch it. It's like, you can rinse it. I'm like, no, I don't want to touch it.
No, there's no time for that. So all of the students, they're now standing around like, what are we doing here? This is our first class back. And now we've got to squeeze pus from this stuff. And then Professor Sprout, she goes, it's extremely valuable. Don't waste it. You will collect the pus, I say, in these bottles. Wear your dragon hide gloves. It can do funny things to the skin when undiluted.
Yes, collect the pus and then give them to me.
Yeah, they're very valuable. That's right. Another pop quiz.
Okay, all right.
Okay, I have to remember. I have to check. I have to check to see if these are one part or two. One part. So one part.
That's why I put them on the script on my end.
Yeah, one part. What is the magical quality for Bubotuber pus?
Pimples. It's a pimple serum.
So acne, pimples. On Harry Wiki, it talked about how people can use them as pranks. Obviously, the undiluted stuff, they can use them for pranks. People use it to make fake potions, different things like that. But the magical
at first
quality,
I was like, oh, how weird. And then I thought, that's not weird at all. That's just how the wizards do it. And then we go buy a bunch of chemicals to put on our face and wonder why it doesn't work. Nah.
Well, we do, in the natural world, you've got aloe, you've got, shea butter, you've got coconut oil.
Yeah, most people don't think of natural stuff until they get older, or either that or they're raised with natural stuff.
All very true.
Yeah.
All very true. Yeah. So right now, just for the record, you are 50% in pop quizzes.
All right.
Right? You're 2 or 4. That's not bad. That's a good start. You've got more time.
We've got more time.
I think you've got some.
Maybe I'll come out of this with a D.
I think you got this.
So class ends, and the Gryffindor fourth years head to Care of Magical Creatures. They get there before the Slytherins, since they were already outside the castle for their first class. Terrible. And they get closer to Hagrid's. They see several wooden crates, and they hear rattling sounds. Hagrid informs them that they would...
Don't like that.
No.
Don't like that.
No. Well, I mean, you walk to Hagrid's already, kind of knowing Hagrid. And you're like,
well, and here's the wild thing about Hagrid as a Care of Magical Creatures professor. Last year, his first year teaching started off with a banger. Hippogriffs. After that lesson, his class was terrible.
Flubberworms.
Terrible.
Just keep them alive.
Yeah, so now it's like, they've got to be like, this has to be better than that. Oh, crates, rattles? Okay, this could get a little exciting.
Not really, because...
Wrong again!
Number 3, these are blast-ended Skrewts. So Harry took a look at them and thought they looked like deformed shellless lobsters, horribly pale and slimy looking, with legs sticking out in very odd places, with no visible heads. I don't know how slimy look. See we go back to the texture thing. The slimy looking. I'm like, oh no.
Yes.
It's like lobster. We're taking my son to Red Lobster for his graduation thing. I'm like, I'm probably going to get a hamburger and fries. I like lobster, but I know that they bring you the whole thing. I'm like, I feel kind of messed up just cracking. I'm not going to do that.
Delicious. Delicious.
I'm sure it is, but burger and fries. And doesn't come with like those butter biscuit things too, or they used to.
I've never been to Red Lobster. I've got to admit, I've never been there.
I think I've been 2 or 3 times my whole life. Yeah, I can't remember. So there was about 100 of these things in each crate.
Yeah, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Each of them are about 6 inches long, crawling all over one another, bumping blindly into the sides of the boxes. And again, this is a big no for me.
If we haven't already.
It's just
big
everything
no.
about it. Ugh.
That's a no from me, dog.
They were giving off a very powerful smell of rotting fish. See, this just gets better.
Shellless
and better.
lobsters, baby.
Yes. Every now and then, sparks would fly out of the end of the Skroot with a small... It would be propelled forward several inches. See, that's cool, but the rest of it...
Yeah.
To everyone's dismay, Gryffindor and Slytherin alike, Hagrid announces that since the Skrewts just hatched, the students will be in charge of raising them. Yeah, cool. Malfoy asked, which I'm right there with you, man. What's the point of raising? What is the point of all of this? Hagrid didn't have an answer, so he just moved on to the day's assignment, feeding the blast-ended Skrewts, and then he said he really didn't have an answer. He said, "Well,
that's in the next class.
Tomorrow's assignment."
Yeah, that's that next lesson. I believe in you.
I believe in a thing called love. Copyright.
For a point, what question do you think I'm going to ask you? This is a bonus point. What question do you think I'm going to ask you?
Something about the blast in the Skrewts?
I mean, I need something a little more specific.
I don't know.
Okay. You are not rewarded that bonus point. But you are still 2 of 4. So they've got to feed the blast-ended Skrewts. Hagrid offered 3 options of food to feed the blast-ended Skrewts. What were those 3 options?
Oh man, I don't have a clue. Man, when it comes to this stuff, I should know to pay more attention.
When rereading the chapter, I remember the first 2. I did not remember the last one.
I don't remember them at all.
Okay. That's okay. We're going to say this was a 1-parter then. That way you're 2 of 5 instead of 2 of 7. 2 of 5. So, ant eggs, which I don't think I've ever seen. Ant eggs.
What a small
frog
thing.
livers. Yeah. Frog livers. And bits of grass snakes.
Very specific.
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all. Like, that doesn't even ring a bell.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Now you know.
Dang. Yeah, I don't. Ant eggs. Yeah, that sounds filling. Sure.
Yeah.
So during the lesson, Dean got burned when one of the Skrewts exploded. Imagine that. Did the Skroot? Did it say the Skroot exploded, or it just had that?
It did. It's
that
the
fire
the blast
okay.
the blast ending of the Skroot.
Yeah. I was gonna say, man, imagine that mess if it exploded.
Oh my gosh.
We then learn that the males have stings and the females have sucker things on their bellies to suck blood.
Here's the thing that is puzzling to me about this lesson. So, herbology, you're introduced to a magical plant, and then you learn about its magical properties. Now we go to Care of Magical Creatures. We're introduced to a magical creature that Hagrid knows nothing about.
It did kind of sound like that.
So it's like, Dumbledore.
He likes the larger creatures.
Well, then focus on the larger creatures. Like you learn your lesson from last year. Don't let Malfoy participate in anything. But it's like now, so we've had comments, since we started this about Dumbledore's blind spots in the students' education. and this Care of Magical Creatures, Hagrid, Flubberworms, and now Blast into Skrewts, and you're like, now I will say this: the Blast into Skrewts do come up later.
Yeah, they do.
Right, they do come up later, but
he kind of got the wind knocked out of his sails last year. So
I mean, first lesson.
Yeah.
So that was their morning, the Gryffindor's morning. Herbology, Bubotubers, and then Care of Magical Creatures, Blast into Skrewts.
First day back to school, right? they're hanging out with the Slytherins. That's great.
So after Care of Magical Creatures, they make their way back up to the castle. They sit down for lunch, and Hermione is scarfing down her food. And I'm like, what are you doing? We just had 2 classes. Like, what's going on? She's like, well, I've got to get up to the library. And they're like, we would question you, but you're Hermione, and we know that you like to go to the library, so fine. So they don't see Hermione again, and after lunch, Harry and Ron set off for the North Tower. We're at the top of the tightly spiraling staircase, going up the silver stepladder that leads to a circular trap door that gets you into a room full of chintz chairs and poofs and shawls and aromatherapy, the smells and all that stuff. They're back at divination. Professor Trelawney comes out, sees Harry, and she wastes no time at all. You are preoccupied, my dear. Which I will say that's eerily similar to my Sir Nearly Headless Nick's voice. You are preoccupied, my dear. My inner eye sees past your brave face to the troubled soul within, and I regret to say that your worries are not baseless. I see difficult times ahead for you. Alas, most difficult. I fear the thing that you dread will indeed come to pass, and perhaps sooner than you think.
Now, my question here is, he's briefly like, oh, I wonder what happened to Sarah. I wonder what happened to Hedwig. But what exactly is he dreading?
Yeah, and it mentions that in there. He's like, other than being worried about Hedwig and Ciri, I'm not really dreading anything, right? Yeah, so, like, he does miss this. But I'm going to ask you.
Fairly certain Voldemort is back.
Yeah, he knows Voldemort is back. And, yeah, maybe he's dreading that. But, we don't know a lot about what it's going to be like the next time. But here's my question, though. We've been in divination before. Has Trelawney really missed a prediction?
No.
Like we know that she has one true prediction. Even Dumbledore says that was a true prediction. And everyone jokes around because of her glasses and her airiness and all this jazz. Well, here's the thing with
predictions. If you predict something, especially to a specific person in front of them out loud, well, the chances of that happening are pretty high, whereas you kept it to yourself.
Sure.
And you just thought, I wonder if this is going to happen. Probably not going to happen. Right?
Yeah.
So you could put so many coincidences together to make you think, oh, man, it did happen.
It's true. I mean, our first time with her, Neville, when you break that cup, use these cups because it breaks.
Of course Neville's going to break.
And then Lavender, with the bunny, and then even Harry with the Grim, right? Yeah. She was seeing a black dog, but she was calling it the Grim because in the divination books, and it's all about
which one of you is going to die this year?
yeah. So I bring that up because this gets very important here. So Professor Trelawney then moves onto what they're going to be working on that term. My dears, it is time for us to consider the stars, the movements of the planets, and the mysterious portents they reveal only to those who understand the steps of the celestial dance. Human destiny may be deciphered by the planetary rays which intermingle. Which is weird because eventually they also have an astronomy class and have had. But you also have the astronomy class, but in divination, they're like, we're going to chart the stars and planets on how they deal with you. Almost like almost like astrology.
I see how Hermione was like, yeah, I'm out of here. It's hot. You sound crazy. Yes. Goodbye.
Yes.
Your eyes are the size of basketballs. Man, Jenny should take this class and write a poem. Ugh.
Oh, boy.
Your eyes are the size of basketballs. So, Harry couldn't concentrate. He was thinking about what she had said to him because she loves to distract him.
Loves Harry.
Yeah. Was he dreading anything in the moment? Like we said, not really. Was she talking about his worry about Hedwig's safety or Sirius was in trouble? He didn't think so. Harry had come to the conclusion that Professor Trelawney was mostly a fraud at divination and that most of her predictions were vague and lucky. Which the only thing that I could think of maybe Harry's worried about in the back of his head, Sirius is on the run. What if something happens?
Sure.
He's afraid something's going to happen. That's the only thing I could think of. I mean, you could say he's worried that Voldemort's coming back, which
I think is constantly, especially with what just happened over the last 2 weeks, right? He wrote Sirius because he had a dream about Voldemort. He has a dream about Voldemort. Then Death Eaters show up at the Quidditch World Cup, and they hear somebody cast the dark bark. Yeah, so I would almost say, and that was just a few days ago.
Yep.
Right, that was just a few days ago. So yeah, I could see that being on his mind. And I think ever since Wormtail escaped,
that he's going to come back, or
that's a good question. Well, even before he came back, he still had 2 run-ins with him.
Yeah.
Right. Year 1, he had a run-in with him, and he wasn't back. Year 2, he had a run-in with him, and he wasn't back. Now he's back.
Yeah.
So I think it's in the back of his mind more than we read about.
Yeah. He's not innately worried.
I don't think he feels like he's in immediate danger.
Yeah. So, Harry, he was with her last year when she went into a sort of trance, and she accurately predicted about Voldemort rising again, which even Dumbledore believed to be a true prediction. But just then, Ron brought him back into focus on what was happening in class. Well, Professor Trelawney was looking at Harry and said, "I was saying, my dear, that you were clearly born under the baleful influence of Saturn." Harry didn't know what he was talking about because he kind of fell asleep.
He was deep in his thoughts.
Yeah.
Eyes open or closed, we cannot confirm.
So, chapter notable number 4. Saturn, dear. The planet Saturn. I was saying that Saturn was surely in a position of power in the heavens at the moment of your birth. Your dark hair, your mean stature, tragic losses so young in life. I think I'm right in saying, my dear, that you were born in midwinter.
Jeremiah.
Harry said he was born in July.
What is Harry Potter's birth date?
Well, I was going to look that up, too. So is he just saying he was born in July, or was he actually born in July? So I'm going to go off of July.
I don't know how many times you've gotten this pop quiz wrong. I've asked. This has to be the 4th or 5th time I've asked you.
Yeah, it is. July 4th. No, July 31st. July 30th.
What are you locking in?
July 30th.
Final answer?
Yeah.
What year?
I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so it's 94.
He's doing arithmancy.
1980.
July 31st, 1980.
That was close.
Okay.
Close.
So if we scroll up, what is chapter notable number 4 on the list of chapter notables? Have you heard this? Have you heard this theory before about
chapter
this?
Chapter notable number 4, Trelawney Missfire.
Is there a question mark?
Yes. Let's see. Missfire. Where's she? Oh, well, the Missfire is that she got his birth month wrong. And the lighting of the heavens and the planets and all that stuff.
You ready for this? Because I don't think you've heard this.
I may have not.
I don't think you've heard this. When is Voldemort's birthday?
I want to say it's September.
December 31st.
Okay.
So, the Sorting Hat was going to put Harry in Slytherin because it read Voldemort's soul.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh.
So now you've got Trelawney, who has Harry right in front of her. Now listen to this. Saturn, my dear, the planet Saturn. I was saying that Saturn was surely in a position of power in the heavens at the moment of your birth. Your dark hair, your mean stature, tragic losses so young in life. Am I right in saying, my dear, that you were born in midwinter? Was she wrong, Jeremiah?
I mean,
for Harry, yes.
Yeah.
But not for Voldemort. Right? So,
she got everything right except for his birth.
Has she really ever truly gotten something wrong? Because if divination is energy, if divination is reading the signs, she is reading Voldemort perfectly. And we know it's why the Dementors went after Harry and didn't go after any other students. They weren't going after Harry's soul. Right? They were going after Voldemort's soul.
Yeah.
The Sorting Hat was reading Voldemort's soul. Professor Trelawney here, while this could be a stretch, this could be far-reaching, we do know that she does have the lineage of divination, and we know that at least 2 times she has done sincere and accurate divination, and then other times she has given predictions that have come eerily close to either happening or being close to happening or lining up with her predictions. And now she's got a student in front of her that has his own soul and part of Voldemort's soul. And she reads, "Am I right in saying, my dear, that you were born in midwinter?" Just a little something to ponder.
I mean, it is something that makes perfect sense.
Just a little something to ponder. Just a little depth to the story.
Voldemort and Harry, as we will learn throughout the series, are very similar.
So many similarities.
Oh, yeah.
So many similarities.
It's just their personalities that are different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Their choices as well.
Their choices, yeah.
The choices which Dumbledore really loves and goes very close to the quote that we're going to end today's script with. So, anyway, I had to go off on that little tangent because I think it's just a cool little type deal.
No, it sounds pretty good. I like it.
So during that class, the students had circular charts, and they're attempting to fill in the position of the planets at the moment of their birth. Harry, Ron, Seamus, Dean, they weren't taking the assignment very seriously, and then all of a sudden we hear Lavender Brown shriek with excitement. She found an unaspected planet, and Professor Trelawney informs her that the planet was Uranus. I had no clue what an unaspected planet was.
I didn't either.
So I looked it up. Nothing crazy. In astrology, an unaspected planet is a celestial body in a birth chart that has no major geometric angles, conjunction, sextile, square, triune, trine, or opposition to any other planet. Because it lacks these balancing connections, the unaspected planet behaves like an isolated energy source, operating entirely on its own terms without the moderating influence of the rest of the chart.
Huh, what a useless thing to know.
I do not look, I've got people very near and dear to me that are, they believe very strongly in astrology.
Yeah.
I'm personally not one of them. I don't have anything against it. But I don't know, it's an isolated thing. Lavender makes it sound like a very exciting thing.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Yeah, if you're into that, very, very good. But if you don't care, then it's useless.
It's like, okay. Yeah. So, when Professor Trelawney informs her that the planet is Uranus, Ron, being 14 years old, can I have a look at Uranus too, Lavender?
And I've signed us out with that quote before.
Which we've all said.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe not you lovely listeners, but this, prepubescent degenerate.
That's why you're calling it Uranus instead of Uranus.
I mean, that is the technical pronunciation, but we get it. So that line was a bit too much for Professor Trelawney. That line got them a lot of homework, a detailed analysis of the way the planetary movements in the coming month will affect you with reference to your personal chart, which is kind of weird because this was day 1 and they just had to chart the stuff at, your birth. What was the planets at your birth? Now it's like, oh, do something that we haven't learned. Go learn it on your own. Do this chart. Hand it in.
Here's a question. Would you fail this assignment? I mean, talk about doing something that I don't understand or care about.
Here's the thing. I don't like failing.
Well, I don't either, but
I don't know why Harry and Ron took divination again. They clearly didn't take it seriously last year. Maybe it's one of those like easy A classes. They get to make a bunch of stuff up.
Yeah.
And Professor Trelawney was like happy with it. So I think this is one of those things where it's like you go to the book and it's going to give examples like, oh, if Saturn's here, so I think they can just make it up. So
it depends on if you believe in that stuff or not. But I guess as a 14-year-old, you don't know necessarily if you believe in it or not. So,
well, I think as let's take it from Harry's point of view, right? Harry grew up in a non-magical world, and now he's introduced into the magical education system.
Yeah.
And you've got to assume every class, except for maybe Muggle studies, has some weight to it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be offered. He's also met Firenze and other centaurs that Hagrid, was like, yeah, they keep their secrets to themselves. They were like, oh, Mars is very bright tonight. You know what I'm saying? So, he met magical creatures that believed wholeheartedly in it. He obviously knows that Professor Trelawney has real divination powers within her. So, I think to answer your question, I think Harry still put some. Again, she saw Sirius in the cup. She saw the big black dog.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think he teeters on it.
It's probably one of those things where he's like, yeah, I'll do the assignment and I'll pass. And then after that, it'll just leave.
Yeah. It's like, look, I took French in middle school and high school. Andrew, do you want to go to France? No. But there are some really pretty girls in French class. So I'm just going to take it. And I have to take a foreign language.
And do you remember any French?
Oui, monsieur.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember taking foreign language. I took Spanish. The Spanish you learned in high school will not lead to a conversation.
Yeah.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Yeah, sure, that'll come up in conversation.
Well, and that was the thing. I took 2 or 3 years of French in middle school, 4 years in high school, and then 2 years in college.
Jeez.
And then I served a 2-year mission for my church where I lived in Taiwan for 2 years speaking Mandarin Chinese. Okay, and so I've been back from that for 20 years, and I can still speak a lot of Mandarin Chinese. I keep up with a lot of my Chinese.
So how many languages can you speak then?
Mandarin, Chinese, and English. I don't speak any French. I couldn't.
Well, Mandarin and Chinese are very similar. They're almost the same thing.
Here's the thing. So you have Chinese, and they'll say, "Do you speak Cantonese or do you speak Mandarin?"
Yeah, it's a dialect.
It's really a language because I can't understand Cantonese. Some of the words I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. But the writing system is very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar. So you have 1 billion people that can speak Mandarin, and you have, several million that can, like, in the Hong Kong area.
I speak English, and I can sometimes know what people are talking about in Spanish, and if I have to read it, I can kind of get the gist of a sentence in Spanish, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, they have to do this homework regardless whether they want to or not, and if I remember correctly, they rush it. So now they're done with divination. They're done with their first day of classes. They meet up with Hermione after class. She's surprised that they have homework, because she didn't have any arithmancy homework. Bully for you, Hermione.
Lucky for you, Hermione. Loving the pop quiz.
So what was this pop quiz? I don't think you're going to get this pop quiz. It's mentioned a couple times. What was the arithmancy's professor's name?
Sinestra?
Unless No, it's not Sinistra.
Okay, well, that was my guess.
Which is funny now that you know what arithmancy is. It's Professor Vector.
Oh, okay.
And Vector is a mathematical...
Yeah, his name doesn't come up a lot.
No, not a lot. Just in this chapter it's mentioned.
Yeah.
So, anyway, they meet up with Hermione. They go to the Great Hall to eat dinner, and there's always they're already a little bit of a queue outside the Great Hall. Everybody's trying to funnel in. And then they hear Draco Malfoy's voice calling, Weasley! Weasley!
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, come on. School day is done. All they want to do is eat, especially Ron. He definitely wants
Especially Ron.
And probably Hermione, too. Didn't Ron say, like, oh, I thought you weren't eating. Well, there's other ways that I could fight for House Elves' rights. Or you just got hungry.
Yeah, she ate breakfast and lunch today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So they had to squeeze pus from a plant, learn how to feed and manage blast-ended Skrewts. They got a ton of homework, but not Hermione. And now Draco Malfoy is trying to get Ron's attention. Yeah. You think Draco's going to come with something positive to say? Like,
he's the worst.
Yeah. So he was holding a newspaper and looking very pleased. Also not good. Chapter notable number 5. Your dad's in the paper, Weasley, said Malfoy, brandishing a copy of the Daily Prophet and speaking very loudly so that everybody in the packed entrance hall could hear.
Everyone's got to hear. Yeah, everyone's got to hear.
Listen to this. Future mistakes at the Ministry of Magic.
Not future.
Further mistakes at the Ministry of Magic. Oh, this is great. It's bad, but it's great.
It's bad.
It seems as though the Ministry of Magic's trouble are not yet at an end, writes Rita Skeeter, special correspondent. Recently, under fire for its poor crowd control at the Quidditch World Cup, and still unable to account for the disappearance of one of its witches, the Ministry was plunged into fresh embarrassment yesterday by the antics of Arnold Weasley, of the misuse of Muggle artifacts. She didn't even get his name right. Arnold Weasley, who was charged with possession of a flying car 2 years ago, was yesterday involved in a tussle with several Muggle lawkeepers, policemen, over a number of highly aggressive dustbins. Mr. Weasley appears to have rushed to the aid of Mad-Eye Moody, the aged ex-Auror who was retired from the Ministry, when no longer able to tell the difference between a handshake and attempted murder. Unsurprisingly, Mr. Weasley found upon arrival that Moody's heavily guarded house that Mr. Moody had once again raised a false alarm. Mr. Weasley was forced to modify several memories before he could escape from the policemen, but refused to answer Daily Prophet questions about why he had involved the Ministry in such an undignified and potentially embarrassing scene. Imagine not even getting his name right.
Imagine. And here's what's frustrating. Rita Skeeter, it's like the Ministry was already going to be involved.
Yeah.
Right? It's like it was other magical law enforcement were going to go. Amos Diggory is the one that was like, got to get out there. And so Rita, she is
TMZ, modern day TMZ.
She is the clickbait magical.
She would fit right in today with the TikTok and everything. Right. Yeah. She just makes stuff up and everybody believe it. Yeah.
So Draco reads that. Then Draco takes it a step further, as if the article itself wasn't bad enough. Along with the article attached, there was a picture of Mr. and Mrs. Weasley in front of the burrow, which Malfoy had to make fun of. And this is what he says. A picture of your parents outside their house, if you can call it a house. Your mother could do with losing a bit of weight, couldn't she? Ron was ready to throw hands at this point. And I get it. I love it. First off, it's like, you're making fun of my 7-story house, bro? What are you doing?
Right.
Second, my mother had a lot of kids. Okay. She had a lot of kids, and she knows how to make bacon sandwiches.
An amazing cook, and I'm not even like... Yeah. Ooh.
You calm down. And then, Harry's like, shut up, Malfoy. And Malfoy's like, oh, yeah, you had to stay there, too, over the summer, didn't you? And you just, oh, my gosh. So then Harry's like, your mother, Malfoy, to which Malfoy immediately is just like, and then he goes, that expression she's got dung under her nose. Has she always looked like that? Or was it just because she was with you? Was it just because you were with her? Malfoy didn't like that. Chapter notable number 6. Remember, you can dish it out, but you can't take it.
Yeah.
Harry is busy trying to stop Ron from beating the crap out of Draco. Harry pulls his wand, aims a spell directly at Harry. White-hot flash grazes past his cheek. So what does Harry do? Harry's got the instincts of a seeker, right? He's got the instincts. He immediately grabs his wand. He's ready to turn around, but here's a bang. Finally, we get to meet Mad-Eye Moody. Chapter notable number 7. Professor Moody aims a spell at Draco, shouting, "Oh, no, you don't, laddie." I felt like that came out better than I thought it would. I hadn't practiced my Moody voice yet. I liked it. I'm sticking with it.
Maybe that's my problem. I don't practice my voices. I just, when I get to the script,
you got to do it. Yeah. Harry spun to see what happened, but Draco wasn't there. Harry was looking at a pure white ferret. Moody, turns out, doesn't like cowards. He doesn't like people that would attack somebody when their back is turned. He magically bounces Malfoy up and down, over and over 10 feet in the air and going higher. He is bouncing Draco Ferret on the ground over and over while he's lecturing him. Don't do that again. All this jazz. And he only stops because Professor McGonagall's presence saves Draco from further embarrassment. McGonagall has to come on the scene, assess it, and be like, "You've got me so perplexed. I'm going to drop my books. I can't believe what's going on here."
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. You might remember, Moody, that we are not to use transfiguration as a punishment. Surely Dumbledore has told you. Well, yeah, he might have mentioned it.
Might have mentioned it. Yeah. So good.
Yeah, but he's got to put him to detention.
Yeah, we don't use transfiguration. We use detention. I think this is going to last longer. I think this is going to stick.
But Malfoy, under his breath, obviously, basically said, "My father's going to hear about this." To which Moody, he heard. He heard. He wasn't perturbed in the slightest. Let's see.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah? No.
That sounded more creepy than it did like gruff.
That was real nasally.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do the Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah.
Yes. I don't know if I could do it.
Jim Dale has ruined us.
Yeah.
Jim Dale is just too good.
Oh yeah. See, it's just. Oh yeah.
I don't like it. I don't. Oh no.
Well.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know your father of old.
I know your father of old, boy. You tell him Moody's keeping a close eye on his son. You tell him that from me. Now your head of house will be Snape, will it? Another old friend. I've been looking forward to a chat with old Snape. Come on, you. That was all right.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. It's a tough one to do.
It wasn't British.
It was a tough one to do.
Yeah. Ron's reaction was the best.
Absolutely. Hands down the best.
Don't talk to me. Why not, Ron? What does he say?
He goes, I want to fix this. I want to fix this into my memory forever.
Draco Malfoy, the amazing bouncing ferret. Hermione again rushed through dinner so she could go back up to the library. Harry and Ron were left to talk by themselves about Moody. Fred and George joined him, and they all agree Moody is, in their own words, super cool. Lee Jordan joins the conversation, and they tell Harry and Ron that they've never had a defense against the dark arts lesson like it. He knows, man. Knows what it's like to be out there doing it, fighting the dark arts. He's seen it all. It's a pretty good chapter. I mean, we're not getting into the weeds of anything. Professor Trelawney's back. Another prediction for another. Oh, there's Harry. I need to say something dark, right?
Yeah, divination. Yeah. I think herbology, care of magical creatures, divination. They kind of go as you would assume that they would go. Obviously, Hagrid's a little disappointing, but we talked about. Like you said, it just doesn't. The wind was taken out of his sails too early on in his teaching career, and I don't think he's got his mojo back. And then we get to meet Moody. I think it's very telling. We've heard, Amos Diggory talk about Moody. We talked about Molly talking about Moody. We talk about what we see when we first see Moody, and now we get to hear Moody, see his eye working, what he did to Harry, what he did to Draco, and, him being like, oh, your father? Yeah, I know your father. I know your father of old. Tell him I'm watching you. Oh, Snape's your head of house? I need to check in on him too. Let's go do that right now. And then Fred and George and Lee are like, bro, he's been there. He's out there. He's seen it. Yeah. He knows it. We've never had a lesson like that. You're Pete. You're already like, oh, we are Team Moody easily.
Oh, yeah.
Easily. Which I think ties so great. It's a great lead-in into, obviously, we joke about the chapter being called Mad-Eye Moody, and we meet him at the tail end. But we get Mad-Eye Moody in class next chapter, and it's a great class.
Great class, yes.
It's a great class. And so...
Poor Neville.
Yeah. But it's so layered.
Yeah,
right?
This chapter
it's so layered.
This chapter felt like a lot of trying to cram everything in there. And here's Trelawney, here's Hagrid, here's Moody, here's Draco.
Well, she's getting us back into school, right? And I get it. Yeah. I get it. And there's also things in each that come up later.
Yeah.
Which is exciting. Because here's the thing: the real Mad-Eye Moody would hate Draco, and then the fake Mad-Eye Moody would hate Draco.
Yeah, true.
Right. So it's really cool stuff. So
Andrew, I got a question though.
Sprock at me.
We've done our final thoughts. We've done a chapter review.
Yeah.
Do we have any owl posts?
We actually do. Ooh, I like that. We actually do have a little bit of Alpost. So on our, we did a YouTube short talking about finding out how Hogwarts gets cleaned, right? And we talk about, it was from our previous episode.
Yeah, because I assumed Hogwarts just got cleaned by magic. There's nothing, you wave your wand, it's clean. Okay.
Yeah, I think. Right? Yeah, I don't think any of us ever thought about it. Like it just happened. The school's
you just assume you're in a magical place. Everything's going to be done with. You just assume that, right? It's all going to be done with magic.
And then because you have this. I think when we're first introduced to this magical world, we see things happening that we really don't give second thought to. And then as we get more involved in the magical world and we really zoom in, there are so many moving parts to it.
Yeah.
That, there's not just some overall sweeping wave of the wand and things just happen. There are specific spells, there are specific things
Mr.
that need to
Weasley
happen.
says, like, somebody asked him why can't the muggles know about witches and wizards? And Mr. Weasley's like, well, they'd want magical solutions for all their problems. And here we are thinking about magical solutions for really easy things.
I think that was Hagrid, to be honest with you.
Oh, it could have been, yeah.
I think that was Hagrid. I could even go back to book 1.
It might have been Hagrid.
I'm going to go out on a
Sounds like a
limb.
Hagrid thing.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it was Hagrid. But it is something that Mr. Weasley could have said. Anyway, so we took a short clip of that and we talked about it. And, some of our comments, we got several comments. It's like, yeah, the house elves could do wizards, or house elves can do magic, but they are strictly, as we learn at the Quidditch World Cup, Amos Diggory, they're strictly not allowed to use wands. So, like, on YouTube at Riley-58372, right? She goes, it's because they can't use wizard magic, specifically with the use of wands. I don't think it says that they can't use I got myself, right? I'm like 4 words ahead, but I'm still trying to correct house elf. So we've got a comment from at Riley-58372, and she says, look, it's because they can't use wizard magic, which would specifically require a wand. Remember, they were like, Winky, there's no way Winky could do that. It requires a wand. She doesn't have a wand, nor would she have ever been able to, cast that spell before. But she goes, it doesn't, she goes, I don't think, well, Riley could be a boy or a girl, I'm not sure. I don't think it says they can't use house elf magic or anything like that. So yeah, more than likely the house elves are using some sort of magic. We got some other cool comments on that one as well. Some of them were super detailed, but you should go on there. And then we get, at SCELT Skelt00. He's like, they can use magic, right? They can use magic. They just can't use the wand. So house elves out here.
That brings us up to like another whole conversation, because I think I was talking about, they can do magic. They don't need a wand to do magic. And are all of them, are they going to do magic? Because you don't know how their previous masters were. So maybe their masters were like, no, you're not going to use magic around me. And you know how Winky's so loyal to Barty.
Yeah.
Is she going to want to use magic? Or was she allowed to use magic with Barty? I'm not sure that we know.
Correct me if I'm wrong, listeners and watchers. I don't know if there is an instance in the book outside of Dobby where we see a house elf do magic in the service of their owners, right? So take Creature, for instance, right? We in book 7.
I think Creature disapparates and apparates.
He disapparates, yes, but he cooks, he cleans, like he does everything manually, at least in front of the wizards. So, and we learned from Tonks in book 6 or book 7, that there is a spell. I hate you so much for that. I hate you so much for that. I want to say book 7, that there's a spell to where you can clean your room, fold your socks, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, you have to use a wand. So can elves not do that magic because it requires a wand, so.
Yeah, it brings, like I said, a whole new conversation. What is the extent of their magic? Can they do the same stuff?
Yeah.
They just don't need a wand?
Yeah.
Or are they limited? I don't think we ever learn like a canon version of that.
Yeah, other than the apparating, disapparating.
Yeah, because we are aware they can do magic and they're not allowed to have a wand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
I think it was more of Did their previous owners allow them to do magic? And afterward, if they weren't allowed to do magic, are they going to do magic now? I don't know.
I mean, Dobby wasn't afraid to unleash on Lucius.
You shall not harm Harry Potter. So thank you, everybody, for watching, listening, however it is you're getting this into your ears. If it gives you the option to leave a comment or a thumbs up or just anything at all, go ahead and do that, because it'll help get us out there to the other people you're supposed to share this to. I forgot, who, Andrew?
All of your Potter friends.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And join us next time when we discuss Chapter 14. A great chapter.
Great chapter.
Unforgivable curses. Andrew, go ahead and sign us out.
Differences of habit and language are nothing at all if our aims are identical and our hearts are open.
Squib's Corner is hosted by Jeremiah Lobaugh and co-hosted by Andrew Beecham, myself. We would love to hear from you, so drop us a rate and review. To inquire about being a guest, or if you have questions, comments, or just want to give us your Harry Potter story, email us at squibscorner@gmail.com. To watch Harry Potter merch unboxings, follow Jeremiah's YouTube, Accio Potter Guy. Lastly, you can leave us a voice memo and follow us on Instagram at Squibs Corner Podcast.